how is my mental health? I didn't always have the tools that I needed, right, to properly deal with my mental health, and the people around me didn't have the tools either. But scratch that. There were tools available to me. I just didn't know how to use them or utilize them, right? Whether it's like meditating or breathing or talking with other people. I once learned to, like, when you share your vulnerability, it lets other people feel comfortable to share theirs. And that to me was super life-changing when I was in a space that I thought that I was all alone in. So yeah, I think my mental health is ever changing, getting better. And I also feel like when I know that there's other people struggling, like just going back to the vulnerability, it empowers you to grow, and it empowers you to like bring other people up. But that also can be slightly exhausting too, to try to take care of everyone around you, especially if you can't do it fully. But yeah. I am definitely someone that likes to suffer alone. I don't like to put it onto other people, which can be, you know, there's a point where you're oversharing, and at that, like, and you're dumping on people, right? I think that to me scares me so much that I try really hard not to. But while also trying to find the balance of being open and yeah. But I think I would define my mental health, or how what it looks like on a day-to-day basis is, it's just exhausting. I'd put it, yeah, like it's very tiresome, right? It's a struggle to live up to whatever standards you or I set for myself, right? For whatever reason. I don't want to be someone that's sad all the time. I know I can talk myself into being happy. I'm a generally happy person, I think. But I think something that I'm always going back to is having to restart and finding the energy to restart, or finding the will to want to be better, right? I can be really hard on myself, excuse me, as we all, I'm sure, are. So what I tell other people, I don't always tell myself. Right? I don't always live up to the standards that I set up for myself, and I'm not always as kind as I am to others, to myself. Which is a day-by-day thing, right? You like learning how to be kind to yourself is a hard thing, I think. Especially living in a world where we're constantly, like everywhere you go, everything you read, there's like an overload of information. And as someone that has ADHD, like I'm like bouncing from one thing to the other and finding it hard to like stick to the standard and expectation isn't the word I'm looking for, but to give me a synonym for
those are the exact same words as the
yeah.
words expectations that
right.
I
try, but they are expectations and standards, but whatever the softer version of that is how I try to see it, like just like goals, daily goals, and like trying to celebrate my achievements, which I can easily dismiss, right? I can do something really great and be like, well, that's what you should have done. And then I have to like stop and look at myself in the mirror and be like, no, you're great. You're great, you're great, you're great, you're great. Say it 5 times, Faven, and you'll feel it.
Yeah. You know. I always view it as like a pole vaulter. if a pole vaulter is setting their bar at the highest fucking one every time and just going for it every time, of course you're gonna like miss that bar. And I do that same thing where I just set it at the highest point that I can conceive of or achieve, and it's like that bar is gonna be different every day, sometimes different multiple times in a day. And so yes, just putting that bar too high is
for sure. And also, like, you know, we don't always wake up feeling like a 10, right? Very rarely, I think, do we actually ever wake up at a 10. Probably like a better standard is like a 7, you know? But I think with mental health, you're waking up closer to like a 5 sometimes. And I can bring myself up to a 7 if we're in like in a public space, or I easily get distracted and send me a video of a puppy, boom, I'm back. I'm at a very minimum of a 7, right? And I can maintain that, but then coming home and then feeling like a 3 or a 4. So there's something wrong there, right? Overexerting yourself can be really exhausting, and knowing that's like the social standard that you've set for yourself. And nobody really cares if you change, right? And if they do care, then it doesn't actually matter in the scheme of the world. But I still force myself to get to the 7, come home, and I'm depleted. And so finding those tools to prevent myself from going back to like a 3 or something is also exhausting. Mental health is exhausting. That's how I'm defining it. I'm tired.
Absolutely.
Sunshine for sure. You know, I have a hard time leaving my apartment. I'm always like prolonging when I have to leave, or like maybe I need to go back and take an allergy pill, because who knows? I just need it, so now I have to go back home, or like whatever. So I have to force myself to get outside, but once I'm outside, I'm feeling significantly better than I was. That's one of those things. Strict morning routine. Strict. But kind of having a structure does. I think physical touch is really important to me. My mom's always touching us. She's always like touching all parts of our bodies in a very clean, good way. But I could just be sitting and watching TV at home, and all of a sudden I feel her hand up my back. And when we were little, and whenever we were driving, like on road trips, she would just like stick her hand out. And we just knew, like, okay, give her your foot, give her your hand, or whatever. Yeah, she's crazy too, though, so. But so I think I see that, like, when I do have, like, a lot of physical touch, whether it's, like, hugging my friends, or like, if I feel comfortable to, like, be able to touch my friends or partners and loved ones, that goes a long way. Eating like vegetables, like that is something that it helps so much, right? If you get into like a rhythm of just eating like pasta and junk food and Cheetos and whatever, like it not only am I looking at this food that I know that isn't good for me and like kind of like seeing that in my brain, but I just feel like a different person. My younger brother told me that I don't really quite remember the conversation, but I think I was just telling him about like having to deal with like depression, and it's exhausting and whatnot. And he challenged me, which it was so baffling because he's my younger brother, but I feel like he sees I think he's smarter than me for sure. But he told me to do one like the first act that you do should be a positive one or a good one. And that's also really important, right? So when I wake up, I try to do, whether it's like 3 jumping jacks, right? It could just be 3. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I did something great, and now I'm ready to do another good thing, and they slowly get bigger and better. If I wake up and smoke a joint, I know, like, I'm already 2 steps back, you know. But that's like, it's more fun and it's easier.
Sure.
But then like getting up and doing 3 jumping jacks, or even like brushing my teeth right away. Like, I don't want baking soda in my mouth first thing in the morning. But once I've done that, I feel like, okay, I've done something really great. What else can I do that's great? So, you know, I slip off the wagon often, but I've found like small tools that help me get back to like a much more stable space. Like, as far as day-to-day things, I think just like laughing with friends over something stupid. I like to argue a lot, and I like to win arguments. So there's that. That can make you feel real good.
Absolutely, it can.
Yeah, I think winning, I think, would be my, if I really just need to pick me up, I need someone to let me win. But don't let me know that you let me.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's good to know, and like, I'm great for you to know about yourself.
Like, let's play Mancala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a quick game in. I love that. Anything else?
I think I like seeing other people having fun too.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. It took me a little while to learn what the difference was. But when I'm alone and I see people having fun, I don't necessarily feel the need to interject myself, but like, I might. That makes me so happy to watch, like, just people enjoying themselves and seeing that people take care of each other. Because I do think we're so quick to being like selfish and mean to one another. Not even mean, but we're just thinking about ourselves, and we're acting in a way that will take care of ourselves. And that's hurtful. So when I see people enjoying life, that it makes me eager to also enjoy life too. Yeah.
Love that.
But mostly winning.
I'm glad it is.
Oh my God. Don't lose your retainer. Bitch, like, literally, do not lose your retainer. That's step 1. Step 2, I think I think it would probably be more along the lines of like being more patient with my mom. Yeah. We're gonna give that a range, like 10 to 27-year-old Faven. To this very day. Being more patient with my mom, right? And I think just maybe advocating for myself a little bit more when it came to like schoolwork and stuff. Yeah. I get so frustrated very easily. Like, I think before we started recording, I was saying that I have black and white thinking. And so if I wasn't doing well, I would just be like, I give up. I'm not a writer. I can't write, so I'm not writing. Done. I hate writing. And that just stems from like not knowing how to just say like, hey, I'm struggling right now, so I just need a little bit of help with this. I think that would have overall put myself at ease. And same with, you know, my relationship with my mom, recognizing that there is gray space and that, like, I've known her my whole life, but she has not known me her whole life. And she too is a human that has her own world and struggles. And yeah, I think, okay, to condense it all, do not lose your retainer. I stepped on one and I forgot the other one somewhere. I even remember when I stepped on it, because when I was about to step on my backpack, I was like, I'm pretty sure my retainer's in there. I'm like, no, I didn't. Boom, crack, broken. And that was my second one. So then I couldn't ask my dad for another one, but that's neither here nor there. Advocating for yourself, right? And recognizing that, like, you do have self-worth. Yeah, which is, it's kind of hard to understand that you have self-worth as a child. You just think things are. And then I think just overall being patient with the people that I love and myself. Yeah.